The Great Fire of Sylvanora. Shruggy the bard was alone. The cold nipped at his exposed skin, a stark contrast to the tropical warmth he craved. Boris, the blacksmith, was gone, leaving Shruggy to embark on his first true adventure. Before setting off, driven by a newfound sense of responsibility, he decided to fire up the kiln, intending to cast a new storage container for the Sylvani home. Armed with knowledge gleaned from Boris, he thought he understood fire. He was wrong. Fire, a concept foreign to the tree-slinging bard of the tropics, was now a necessity. He'd never truly needed it, never understood its duality. Boris had spoken of it, a tool, a weapon, a force of creation. But Shruggy, in his tropical naivete, had failed to grasp its destructive potential. Fire, he would soon learn, could be both your greatest ally and your most formidable enemy. Upon his return, the air was thick with smoke, the sky painted a horrifying orange. The scent of burning wood assaulted his senses, replacing the familiar earthy fragrance of Sylvanora with a choking acridity. What he witnessed was harrowing. Standing amidst the inferno, a being of pure light and heat, was Helios the sun god. Flames danced around him, illuminating the devastation with an almost mocking brilliance. His voice, echoing with the power of 1,000 suns, boomed across the ravaged landscape. Shruggy, Helios proclaimed, his voice a tremor that shook the very foundations of the forest, I have watched over you for some time. Your arrogance and ignorance are disappointing. How could you forget the strength of my first creation? Shruggy, overwhelmed by the presence of such a powerful being, could only stand in stunned silence. He lacked the strength, both physical and emotional, to respond. The beauty and majesty of Helios held him captive, a mesmerizing spectacle of fiery power. Helios, his voice softening though still resonating with divine authority, spoke again. Shruggy, in what you lack, you shall gain. Seek the sun in the highest of heights, is where you find your flame. Then, in an instant, Shruggy's world dissolved into a sea of flames. Everything he had built, everything he held dear, was consumed by the fire he had so carelessly unleashed. He felt the unbearable heat, the searing pain as the flames licked at his skin. Paradoxically, in his despair, he came too close to the flame, and the flame consumed him. In that moment of oblivion, he found himself once more in the presence of Helios the sun god. Helios, in his infinite power, brought Shruggy back from the brink. He was resurrected within the heart of the flames, born anew from the ashes of his mistakes. But the price was devastating. All of Sylvanora, his home, his community, his life, burned to ash while he stood and watched, a powerless witness to the consequences of his ignorance. His adventure had begun with a spark of hope, but it had erupted into the great fire of Sylvanora, forever etching its mark upon his soul. He had been given a new life, but what would he do with it amongst the ruins of his past? The path to finding his own flame, as Helios the sun god had instructed, had only just begun.